Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to the journey of an auxiliary nurse. My name is Malevu Mokoena, the first enrolled nursing auxiliary YouTuber here in South Africa. If you are new here, hi, welcome, please stay. You might like it here, and if you have been here for the longest, thank you so much for choosing this video. Please don't forget to hit the like button before you even watch, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave. And I got my hair did. It's almost 2 weeks now from my afro hair. I got my nail did, and I know my makeup doesn't look wow because of the lighting and whatever, but I got my nail did, I got my hair did, I got my makeup did. Okay, I'm not a makeup artist, so this is basic, but it doesn't show well on, especially with this phone, but it is what it is. Okay, I feel like you are, let me see. That's better. Today I'm coming to you with a story time. I am going to make a little disclaimer. First of all, I'm not a good storyteller, okay? But I'll tell the story because I'm the one who's telling the story. Sharp. Secondly, just because I'm talking about this experience, it doesn't mean I don't sympathize with what happened. And thirdly, I use the word kill because there's no better word for that. But I think it's killing, almost killed, right? Right. And the patient was fine when I left, and I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson to always check, always ask, always make sure, double check, okay? And let's get into the story. Okay, the story happened around 2017. Yeah, around 2017, 2018, okay? By now, we all know that I completed my nursing certificate 2015. And around that time, January 2015, around that time, I gave birth. So I waited 2 years before I could start, looking for jobs and whatever. So back in 2017, 2018, let's just say it's 2017, right? Back in 2017, I was struggling to get a job, applying, and nothing was happening. My boyfriend at that time, who's still my boyfriend now, but at that time, he was working at a Mediclinic Sunny Hill. Right. So he was like to me, why don't you come and orientate where I'm working? And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give it a try, it's fine. Then he secures a booking for me, then I go there. When I get there, everything was all roses and berries, people welcoming, there's no problem. And I go there, my booking was at a medical ward. Yeah, I was orientating at a medical ward. Then we get there, everything is fine, they allocate me a orientator. As I'm the orientee, they allocate me an orientator, fine, no problem. He explains to me the routine, and then we go through the routine together. Now, no problem, right? There's no problem. I do everything, I record, I talk to the patient, I answer the bells and whatever. Come lunchtime, this is going to be a short story because telling it over and over again, I don't have to go through the corners and the undergrounds and the tunnels, you understand? Okay. Come lunchtime, so he's like to me, I've seen you doing the whole routine alone, and then I'm impressed, so I will leave you alone for lunch because we can't both go out on lunch, so one of us has to stay behind. So I'll go first on lunch and then you'll be second, right? I'm comfortable, I agree. The guy goes on lunch and then I'm busy checking my patient, everything is fine, no problem. But now the problem becomes the rooms, the way the rooms were lining. I think we had 11 patients, 10 on one side, and 2 rooms are next to each other, but on the other side. So the other 10 rooms from the other side, they share this room, making 11 patients, and we take 10, making 11 patients with the other one, right? So now, the bell from one of those 2 rooms goes up, right? It goes up, and then I'm standing there, I'm pretending like I don't see the bell because, first of all, there are 2 rooms there. I don't want to go there just in case it's not my room and I have to answer the bell from the other patient's room. Already the sister on the floor is irritated with me, like, you're standing there but you see the bell ringing, okay? Fine, when I see her looking at me with that, look, I decided, I let me go. Your kind in my guts was right. I should have stood there like a statue, like I don't see anything. Okay, it's fine, I go there. When I get there, it's now my room, it's not our room, it's the other section's room. Okay, fine, no problem. Let me go and hear what the patient wants. I go in. It's an old nanny. Maybe she was around 70 at that time, 70, 80-ish, I don't know. Yeah, around that time. And then she comes back from lunch. She's coming back from lunch. So she's like to me, hey, Missy, can you put my oxygen on? Have I put an oxygen before? No. Okay. I'm like to her, you know what, let me go inquire and then I'll come back to you. She's like, no, you just switch on there. It's 2 liters of oxygen that I have to get every time I come back from lunch. I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but I'm going to ask. Because in my mind, I'm like, I've never put an oxygen before. So let me go double check. I go call the sister who was looking at me snacks. I go to her and I'm like, the patient from room so-and-so is telling me about oxygen, so I don't know. It's like, they didn't teach you how to put oxygen on. So now with me being disappointed that I have to go back now to put the very same oxygen that Annie told me about. I'm like, no, I just wanted to confirm if I should do it. Yeah, you should do it. Actually, she's telling you that she's on 2 liters of oxygen. I'm like, okay, now I'm scared to even say I don't know how to switch on the oxygen meter. You know, I find sharp, I go there and I'm like, it's just numbers. I just have to look for 2 and then just put it on 2. Okay, fine, I go in there and then as I approach the oxygen, where the oxygen put, like it's a wall and it has an oxygen meter right there, right? I go there and there's a nasal cannula next to the patient. And I'm like, don't put it on until I put the oxygen on. She's holding it like this. She's like, oh, okay. Then she's looking at me. Yeah, you know, patient will give you heart attack. I don't want to lie. Okay, fine. I'm looking this direction, right? And then she's on the bed like this with the oxygen. Sharp. I switch on. There's a ball that shows you where the levels are, right? I switch on, it goes to 5. So the readings are 5 upwards, 5, 10, 15, like upwards, right? I switch on, it goes to 5, right? So when you switch it on, it makes a psst sound, right? So I think the patient thought by me switching it on, it's there. So she puts on her nasal cannula and I'm not looking. Remember, I'm facing that direction, right? I'm like, to me, but this is 5. Let me put it to 10 and then work my way down. The minute I put it to 10, I see the donor's hands going, the patient's hands going. I'm saying donor because I'm at work and then now, you know, yeah. I see the patient's hands going all over, trying to grab on me, trying to grab on things. And then I'm standing there like confused and then I switch it off. The minute I switch it off, looking at the donor, she's purple. She's purple, she's holding on to things, glasses are falling, and then I'm panicking. Now I'm panicking, I'm like, what did I do? I'm panicking, and then I hit the emergency bell. When I hit the emergency bell, who comes? Cinderella, the sister. The very same sister I went to before. Okay, she comes, she goes into the room and she's like, what is wrong? What happened here? And the donor, the patient now is gaining consciousness. She's like, trying to grasp for air now. She's saying, she's trying to kill me, she's trying to kill me, you know? And then now I'm explaining to the sister, no, I was turning the oxygen on. So she put her nasal cannula in and now, I don't know what happened. I just saw her doing this. And she's like, just go to lunch, I'll fix it. Right? I go to my lunch. I'm sad, I'm scared, I have mixed emotion. Remember, lunch is around 1, 2 o'clock. I still have another 4 to 5 hours left. You know, that was the most awkward hours of my life, right? Right, I go to lunch, and then as I approach the canteen, that guy comes, and then he's like, why are you so red? I'm like, yo, I did this. I'm explaining to him, I did this and this and this, and this is what happened. He's like, nah, don't worry, it will be sorted. I go to lunch. He goes to the donor, like to the patient. Sorry, I'll keep on referring to donors because I'm at work. But he goes to the patient, and I'm sitting there. Now my appetite is gone. I'm sitting there trying to listen to what people are scattering about, and I can hear people laughing, like the staff members. They are laughing, and then whatever. I'm like, they must be talking about me. Ask me, were they not? I turned into the laughing stock of that medical ward, I told you. Okay, fine. I come back. When I come back, the guy is asking me, what did you say happened? I'm like, I went to the room, this is what happened, this is what happened. It's like, but the sister's telling a different story. He says when you put the patient's nasal cannula on and switch the oxygen to 10, my heart sank. You know, when I tell you that my heart sank, my heart was at the bottom of my shoes. I was like, how can she do this to me? After I explained everything, now she goes around telling people that I tried to kill a granny. Wow, I was so disappointed. Then it was knock-off time. I went home, explained everything to my boyfriend. The next day, I was supposed to go back to the medical ward. They were like, no, you know what, we don't need extra help today. You can go to, there's a ward where they say is, I don't know if it's, what is it called? I'm not sure what it's called or how they call it, but it's where they deal with ears, nose, and mouth. Right. I go there and then orientate for that day. Okay, everything went well there. There was no problem. But coming back home, I waited for like a month, 2 months to be booked. Did I get booked? No, but there's a lesson that if you make such a mistake, chances are they're not going to book you again, right? Because to them, you are incompetent. But in my defense, I told the sister, I tried to be open with her, but she wasn't having it, all right? Again, me admitting I was wrong for feeling guilty and trying to cover up for me not knowing how to put on oxygen. I should have told her that, yes, I don't know how to put oxygen because they didn't teach me at school. So I tried to be brave. I tried to do this. You should go and watch the video that I made about how to survive orientation. Yeah, you should check that out because that was inspired by this story. Okay, remember when you go to your orientation, like anybody else, you make mistake. Secondly, ask. It doesn't matter how annoying it gets for you to ask one thing over and over. At the end of the day, you know it stays here and you know you did the right thing. Then go and do the wrong things and end up not being booked. Okay, that is the end of our story where I almost killed the granny. I told you guys I'm not a good storyteller, but anyway, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Thank you so much for choosing this video. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.